and a barrister par excellence. He's our Deputy Governor, Barrister Bayo Lawal. Please let's give a round of applause. You are welcome, sir. We also have here our past Deputy Governors here. And I'd like to introduce and welcome His Excellency, the former Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Alhaji Hamid Badamosi. You are welcome, sir. His Excellency, the former Deputy Governor too, Barrister Azim Dolarumi. You are welcome, sir. We have here the Chairman, Advisory Council to the Governor, Dr. Saka Balogun. You are welcome. Thank you. We also have here a member of the Advisory Council too, an Elders Forum, Alhaji Nureni Akobi. You are welcome, sir. We have our Service Chief, the Garrison Commander. I have Major Oyamejan. You're welcome. Sorry for the pronunciation. Thank you. Representative of the Commissioner of Police. I have
ACP Yvonne Omololu. You are welcome, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
And also on the I table, we have the Director General of Oyo State Mobilization Agency for Socio-Economic Development, Dr. Morunkola Thomas. You're welcome. Thank you. We have here the Chairman, Rule of Law Authority, Honorable Justice Aderemi retired. You are welcome. And our members.
Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I'm very glad to welcome Your Excellencies, and my Lord, the CJ, and all the stakeholders to this important engagement. On the 11th of June, 2024, the Oyo State Governor established this all-important agency, the All Myself, after the House of Assembly had passed into law a bill establishing the agency and giving it a legal foundation. Since 2019, when Governor Seyi Makinde took over the reign of governance in Oyo State, he has displayed the attributes of a visionary leader, a leader with a focus, a leader with a mission. And what he has done is to expand the economy of Oyo State, to improve the status of our infrastructure, with a view to bringing our people from the stage of poverty to prosperity. And you will all agree with me that it's because of the ongoing efforts at dealing with poverty in Oyo State that we have been experiencing unprecedented peace in this state. Hitherto, we had witnessed the opposite in this state. And I think the criminal justice system, we agree that the various policies of the government had brought peace to a very large extent to this state. A lot of improvements have occurred on our roads, in our hospitals, in our schools, on our farms. Our visit to Fashola will show you that a new farm estate has been put in place. But the question the governor asked himself some 2 years ago is that after his departure in 2027, our people, would they be able to sustain and maintain the tempo of the socio-economic development process that has been put in place? The answer is definitely no. Why? The orientation of our people, the behavior of our people, the perception of life by our people, the way we handle even public utilities, the way we are bringing up the young people, the young children, they may not be able to sustain the temple, and we may go back to ground zero, God forbid. In order to curb this, the government felt that we need to put in place an institution that will change the orientation of our people. We believe in integrity, in honesty. We believe in hard work. We believe in respect for elders. We are hospitable people. We are very warm people. We accommodate even strangers. Shema Kide administration is determined to change the tide. And that is why we're here. We have observed that new rules have been put in place, junction improvements have been put in place, traffic lights are everywhere, but the traffic lights are greatly disrespected by our motorists. Not just the commercial drivers, even by well-educated, well-dressed people on our roads, including women, surprisingly. And in our interaction with the road management agency, we found out that a number of people drive against the traffic, leading to accidents and deaths on our roads. The governor is determined that this must be arrested. And we found out that a great number of our young people are lost to the abuse of illicit substances. And when they do this, they cannot make contributions to socio-economic development. Governor Shimakide is determined that we must not allow this drift among the young ones. We found out, Your Excellency, sir, that even among primary and secondary school students, courtesan thrives and the use of substances is prevalent. The reason why we are calling for this stakeholders engagement. The recent stampede in Ibadan is before the law courts, and as a lawyer, I will not make so much statement on it. But suffice to say that that occurrence does not represent us. That is not the way we behave. Today, Your Excellencies, we have brought to this gathering 4 experts to address these topical issues. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to this meeting. This is the first of a series of engagements that we will have with various stakeholders. The governor and the government of Oyo State have promised that this agency will be backed with all the necessary things to ensure that we change the tide. And I pray that the Lord will help us. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Dr. Muronkola Thomas had been at the forefront of similar endeavor for the state administration. I want to assure you, our ministry, the Ministry of Information, is one of the statutory board members of OMASEP. And as he had said, we have quite a number of public awareness programs which is in the pipeline, of course in concert with OMASEP, so that the people of Oyo State will not only enjoy the benefits of democracy, which His Excellency is affording them, but also to be able to have maximal access to all these.
I also want to say that the tax for value realization is a tax for all of us. There is no Nigeria today, if you are sincere with yourself, that you will say that you like this state of things, especially among our young people, our children. So I want to say that the tax for value realization, once again,
is a task that will not leave for government officials. We cannot leave it for security agencies alone. We cannot leave it for the governor alone, but it's a task for our mothers, our fathers, and our youth themselves. Our youth needs to understand that many adults, they've paid their dues. The task and the challenge to build Nigeria is the task for the youth. The young Nigerians need to take possession of the country, Nigeria. They need to know that this is their own country. They need to own the country. They need to key into all government programs and policies that support this. I also want to say and corroborate what the DG Omar said have said, that our women, our mothers, they need to do more. I want to say, sir, for the security agencies here, that our interactions with people at the grassroots, and I also want to bring it to the notice of His Excellency, that most of this drug, and I'm not proud to say this as a woman, are being peddled in Ibadan by women. Women who hide under selling paragas at motor parks. So we need to do something urgently about this, so that we don't destroy our youth, we don't destroy our society, we don't destroy ourselves, and we don't destroy our future. So I want to commend Oyo State government once again, and I want to charge each and every one of us that arising from this stakeholders meeting, please, let us join hands. Let us know that the task of value orientation is a task of each and every one of us.
If you look at all these agencies and the authorities, they have been established with a purpose in mind, that by the time he leaves or at the end of his own tenure, there will be continuity in respect of all these agencies and all the good things that he expects to happen in Oyo State. You say, why did Her Excellency establish homicide and even the rule of law? It is because of his love for the people. I will say something in Yoruba. Ìlú tí ò sófin, ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ò sí. People have to sit up. People have to toe the line of living in a safe environment. People have to toe the line in living in a healthy environment. We talk about environmental law. We talk about, even open grazing. If you remember recently, we had to arrest on our own part. We had to arrest, the people grazing cows all over the place. I always say something, there's so much, effrontery and even, not respecting the seat of power in Oyo State by allowing all these cows to come and graze right in front of our seat of power, that is the Secretariat. And that day, all the members, all the secretary, the director of admin, the director of finance, everybody ran out of our own office to arrest the cows. About 9 of them right there in front of the Secretariat. These are the sort of things that were not happening before. People used to respect every one of us, or they respect the government, but suddenly something crept in. Or the issue of Omoluabi left us. We were no longer Omoluabis. We started behaving just anyhow. But the governor said, hey, it's time for us to sit up. It's time for us to be respectful. It's time for us to respect each other. And that is what is happening now. So from today, please, let everybody imbibe this attitude. Once again, I thank you, Ebo DG, for what you are doing today. It is going to move the state forward. It is going to help us in establishing stability in our state.
And I want to thank the Omasab for making this program to be possible, because he make Oyo State to a greater height. Insecurity in our community. Yes. When we are talking about the security, is not a one-man business. I want everyone to know that it's a collective responsibility. The facilitator of this program, they have talked about the drug herbicide. They have talked about the stampede, a lot of things like that. But I want to tell you that it's not something that the one person can do alone. It's a collective responsibility where you join the police to make greater heights. A community policy means that a civilian have to join the police to succeed in whatever operation that they want to embark on. Like most of all these criminals, some of the communities they know them, but the police they don't know them. It is through you by giving the police information that the police and whatever the information you give the police, they will act upon that and they be able to apprehend that criminal. Any gathering that we want to do, let's try to inform the authority, inform the police, inform the security so that they can come and assist you.
Well, one of the earlier keynote persons described Dr. Thomas, and he said that he's been on this business for about 25 years. This is very correct because I can attest to it. He and I served as commissioner around 1999 to 2003. So he's on a familiar terrain, and so we are not really surprised that this stakeholder engagement is put in place. And the rule of law enforcement authority is another institution that this administration has put in place. Because speaking to what the chairman, DG Omaset has said, he expressed some fears that moving forward, what we plan to put in place may be reversed at the exit of this administration in 2027. I dare say with all confidence that this movement is not reversible, because we will put institutions in place that when people will get used to them, the primary aim of establishment of rule of law authority is to really address traffic challenges that we have. But before we did that, we made sure that, especially in Ibadan here, that some of the areas that are chaotic in terms of traffic control are really addressed in terms of expansion of space. I take challenge, I take gate, I take other areas that we have such traffic challenges. We have already addressed such challenges to the extent that junction improvement in all of those places are already in place. So it should not come as a surprise to anybody who might want to flout traffic when Honorable Justice Aderemi's authority catches up with you. Number two, we also put anti-land grabbing agency in place. This is one agency, we put Honorable Justice Aiki in place, and she's doing a marvelous job. All of us, as we sit down here, we know very well that the phenomenon of land grabbing is prevalent around here and is spreading like wildfire, and we must curb it. It must be curbed because people believe they have title to their lands without any justification. Some elements will just move on to such land and occupy by force. And I know, and Honorable Justice Aderemi will tell me, that the very act of forceful occupation of any land or territory is criminal. Unlike in those days, when conquering environment was justified, and people would say, we are occupying by conquering environment. That very act today is criminal. So all of those people that are jumping on to another man's land must watch it carefully, because because anti-land grabbing law is in place. But I need to mention one or two things with regard to crowd control, because it's on the program. I have looked through the program and I saw that people who would come to speak to them would have to talk on crowd control. It's so unfortunate, because we take many things for granted, and we have lawyers around, we have judges around, we have policemen around. There's the duty of care that when you attempt to take a step, you must foresee the consequences of the step you intend to take. And if such step is likely to impact negatively, you hold a duty of care to ensure that such negative impact does not arise. Now, I'm happy because this audience is reached by mere observation of people in attendance, younger people, and the engagement will address more younger people than elderly people that are seated here, because we talk of drug abuse, we talk of security or insecurity, you talk of the socio-economic development. All of these are addressing younger elements in our society, and as such, I'm so happy that looking across younger elements, students, school children, and people of middle age are here. Socio-economic development. This is one singular infrastructure, road infrastructure, that will engender economic development in your state. Security. Security of life and property is sine qua non, and it's in the Constitution. It is the primary aim of government. And so this administration puts issue of security on the front burner. Oyo State, light up the city center. We have done that in Ibadan here. We have done it in Oyo. We've done it in Shaki. We've done it in Iseyin and other city centers in Oyo State. This will impact positively on the maintenance of security of life and property in Oyo State. And I must take this opportunity to really thank and appreciate our service commanders in Oyo State, the police, the army, the DSS, immigration, Amatekun, civil defense, OTMA, all of them. If you did not observe, I do, that during the Yuletide season, the crime rate was thoroughly low in Oyo State. And I tell you from first-hand information, because I receive a secret on a daily basis. And what we receive is such from the Commissioner of Police, from service commanders, that the crime rate in Oyo State, compared to other states of the Federation, is very, very low. In fact, we rank as one of the lowest in Nigeria. Even recently, it's so sad. Major Adeshagba is here. Now, he is in charge of Otman. One of his boys was trying to control movement of vehicle around this corridor. And unfortunately, somebody who was just employed not long ago was knocked down and killed. It's so unfortunate. That was avoidable death. That was unnecessary death. And so one of these institutions that we are trying to put in place are to really address all the challenges that we may be facing on daily basis. Traffic. I've had occasion, when I was moving out, I closed around 6 in the evening, and I was going to my house, and at Diakwe Junction, I just saw a vehicle bypass, overtook my convoy of about 3-4 cars, and beat the traffic light. I waited. This vehicle, a truck with 33 liters BMS. So I asked my ugly to double cross and accost. This was about a month ago, right? So and I said, okay, take the vehicle to the police station. When they got to the police station, you know, such people would have a reason why they misbehaved. And he said, well, help me beg Deputy Governor. Emissaries were sent to my house. I said, no, let him face the music. So 2 days, the truck was there. The driver was in cell because it was over the weekend. So by Monday, my driver was to go and pick fuel. So he said, well, that's the vehicle that we accosted was laden with PMS, so no fuel for you. Well, that's okay. I said, well, the vehicle did not offend. It's the driver that offended. So the vehicle could be released, go and discharge at the fuel dump by the secretariat, but you, driver, must answer for the transgression. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in Oyo State. This is Oyo State. It's no other state. We must make it work. The challenges that we are having at the moment, we used not to have such challenges. In the olden days, you could even put cassava, corn by the roadside, just indicate how much it cost. People would go, if they needed, they pick and put the money there. Can we do that anymore? So, but if we cannot go back to that era of pure honesty, let us try as much as possible that if we keep our things properly, no intruders will be allowed to come to steal our things. So, this is the whole essence of what we are doing this day. Somebody mentioned or alluded to collaboration of security agencies. They have been doing so. I have just told you And even 2 days ago, a governor was saying that at Fashola there, Fashola Farm Settlement, that around that corridor, even we are sensing that bandits were hovering around that place. I will appeal to us, if you see something, say something. That goes to every one of us. In your environment, times are challenging in your environment. If you notice that people are moving in suspicious manner, have courage to ask questions. Where are you going? Even may I help you, can give you a lead. I need to tell you that the era of community policing is fast approaching. It's fast approaching. I was privileged to be at the National Economic Council about a month ago. And this idea of community policing that we are now referring to state police is coming. And that's not to say that the federal police will be abolished, but if policing is nearer to our people, people they know, people they can identify, it makes better policing and security. On behalf of His Excellency, the Governor of Oyo State, because the least speakers will come and tell you a few things. It is our pleasure that this stakeholders engagement is put in place. Now, Omar said, I need to really encourage you, together with the Ministry of Environment. This is a personal observation. The median of our roads are replete with refuse dump. You have to do something about it. Only yesterday I invited the Honorable Commissioner for Environment to my office, and I challenged him. The new roads that we have done, the median of the roads are again being littered by refuse. And I say, look, all buildings or shops or whatever that are abutting the median of the road, if anything is dropped on the median, such people must be arrested. Because it's not the business of government alone, it's our collective business. You put refuse on the median from Idiakwe to Ojuri, from Gate to Adebayi, the median of the road. From Gate, Iwo Road, median of the road. For how long shall we continue in this manner? So, Omar said, together with Ministry of Environment, you need to work, collaborate, and ensure that people that are in the habit of defecating our environment are apprehended and handed over to rule of law enforcement agency. It's one agency or authority that we are leaning heavily on to sanitize our environment. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure on behalf of His Excellency the Governor of Oyo State to declare this engagement open. Thank you very much.
Stakeholders engagement is the first major outing of the OMASED since it was established June last year. A lot is happening in our society, and we need to mobilize our people to have an understanding of the fact that there's another way through which we can live. Accidents are happening on our roads, not because they are necessary, but because people decide to flout the rules. Traffic lights are existing as if they are just for decoration, and traffic rules are disrespected with impunity, leading to loss of lives almost on a daily basis, especially with people driving against the traffic. Autism is rising. Young adults are engaging in heavy consumption of illicit substances and are now so available at motor parks and garages. We need to arrest that situation, and that is why we are here today, bringing before us a number of experts to look at 4 key areas, and in particular the issue of how do we control crowds when we have public functions. As human beings, we will continue to have public functions, whether they are for people, for charity, or for official reasons, or for social reasons. How do we avoid a situation in which people run over each other because we cannot obey simple rules of decency and organization? That is not what we are. We are the Omoluabis. So we are here today to project our core values, the values of integrity, the values of hard work, the values of respect for constitutional authorities and elders and for each other, the values of community living and progress for all. So all of this will be addressed at the technical sessions that will happen this afternoon. So this is the first outing of Omasate. Expect to see more. We are going to work together because without the media, we cannot get the information down to the grassroots. We are going to work together. You can see that the kind of people you see here today, you have students from the higher institutions and secondary schools. You have PMS people here, led by their chairman is here. You have civil societies here, women organizations like the National Council of Women Societies are here, and you have the powerful media here. We'll all have to work together. It's our society. The only way we can make our society great and better than others is for us to be organized and be decent. That is what our forefathers taught us, and we will go back there by the grace of God. Thank you for coming, and I hope we stay together at the end of the program. Níṣókí ìdí tá a fi péjọ ni wípé ọjọ́ ọ̀la ilé wa ó ṣe pàtàkì gidi gan. Àwọn nǹkan tí ń ṣẹlẹ̀ káàkiri lójú pópó wa, àwọn èèyàn ò ní bọ̀wọ̀ fún òfin mọ́. Bí iná títí bá dá wọn dúró lójú títì, wọn à bọ̀wọ̀ fún. Àwọn èèyàn tiẹ̀ máa ń rò pé ọlọ́kadà nìkan ni. Àwọn tó kàwé tí wọ́n kàwé tí wọ́n dé táì lọ́rùn, ifun àwọn obìnrin wọn ò ní bọ̀wọ̀ fún àwọn kìíní. Egbògi olóró ó ti jàlé ẹlẹ́yẹlé láyé ìgbà kan bí 40 ọdún sẹ́yìn, kókí àgbẹ̀ èrò ilẹ̀ mọ̀ gbọ́ oríṣiríṣi láùdù lọ́wọ́ àbáyé. Colorado ti wà, torí ẹ̀ la fi pe àwọn NDLA wá sí ìbà ilé ni. Gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tó bá ń lórúkọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kò sí bí wọ́n ti lè wà ní àwùjọ tí ó gbégbá lọ sókè. Àlàáfíà afẹ́ kó jọba ní ojú pópó ní agbègbè tá a bá ń gbé. Irú ìkọlù tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n ń pè nǹkan fáwọn ọmọ kéékèèké tí bíi 35 fi gbẹ̀mí mi, a fẹ́ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́. A kì í ṣe èèyàn tí wọ́n ń pè wá kọ́ nìyẹn. Ọmọlúàbí ni wá tó ní ìbọ̀wọ̀ fún òfin, tó sì fẹ́ràn ara wa, tí a sì fẹ́ràn ká máa gbé ní àwùjọ. Gbogbo nǹkan wọ̀nyí ni àpérò yóò jọ ṣe. Ẹ rí i pé àwọn tó wà níbẹ̀ lónìí, àwọn ọlọ́kọ̀ èrò wọ́n wá, àwọn ọlọ́kadà wọ́n wá, àwọn onímàrúwá wọ́n wá, àwọn ọmọléèwé wọ́n wá, àwọn tó jẹ́ aṣíwájú àwọn ọmọléèwé àbí student leaders àwọn náà wà ń bí, àwọn láwùjọ wọ́n wà ń bí, àwọn obìnrin ìyálọ́jà bàbálọ́jà wọ́n wà ń bí. Ẹ̀yin oníròyìn pàápàá jùlọ ẹ ṣe pàtàkì gan nínú iṣẹ́ tá a fẹ́ ṣe, ẹ̀yin náà wà ń bí. Àjọ máa ṣe pọ̀ ní pẹ̀lú àṣẹ Ọlọ́run a máa mú agbègbè wa padà sí aṣíwájú tá a jẹ́. Aṣíwájú ni wá, a lè gbọ́dọ̀ padà sí ipò aṣíwájú ní agbára Ọlọ́run.
Orúkọ yín sà.
Moronkola Thomas lórúkọ mi ń jẹ́, èmi ni Director General fún àjọ Omasex. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀.